Mern liked to say she was a makeup artiste, but actually she was a manicureeste. She worked at Annie Stilt's beauty shop, wore cat-eye glasses with rhinestones at the temples, and studied the lives of movie stars. Her Bibles were photoplay and modern screen. Each month she'd select an actress and alter herself accordingly. Rita H. in January, a raven-haired Elizabeth T. in March, Lana, Ava, Grace, Page Boy, Spit Curls, French Twist. Once, from too much peroxide, her hair turned pea green and fell out. For weeks she wore a kerchief, said she was playing Garbo in Camille. Without adornments, she was enough of a blue-eyed beauty to make men spin around and whistle. But this flattery could not be trusted, since men, she said, were about as choosy as goats. Her oddness clung to her, to me. It spread over everything, like road tar on a summer's day. She'd have me laughing, then, in the next breath, demand I quit bugging her. Her mood changes left me puzzled and on guard. Some nights she wept muffled, private sobs. I would have crawled on my knees to comfort her if I hadn't been afraid she'd freeze me out with a dead-eyed stare. My mother believed a person's name was her destiny. "I'm named after a British actress," she told me, and when I asked if it was Myrna Loy, she threw back her head and laughed with disdain. "I'm no Myrna Loy. Myrna Loy has no pizzazz." Around the time I was 2, I mispronounced my own name, substituting Sissy for Eunice, which I later shortened to Cece, initials being more mysterious. Later, when I asked my mother how she'd chosen the name Eunice for me, she recited the moment her finger had landed on it in a book. Mr. Tabachnik, our downstairs landlord, maintained Eunice had noble origins, meaning victory in Greek, but usually he called me Siskala, or Cece Dumpling, nicknames that were kisses to my ears. Mern's big dream was to go to Hollywood and be discovered by Jack Warner or Louis B. Mayer. The closest she came to Movieland, however, was the theater a few blocks from us, the Hollywood Cinema. The first time I went with her, I was about 6. We were going to a matinee of an old movie, a real tearjerker called Portrait of Jenny. "Get ready for Hollywood," she said, spiriting me from my bedroom in her cherry toreadors and cardigan with the fake rabbit collar. So vast was my happiness, so intoxicated my senses with the perfumed, blazing sight of her, I forgot to tie my shoes. "Girls out on the town," my mother sang, grabbing my hand. She hated to be late for the feature. In an instant, storefronts and houses were passing in a blur. The ticket lady let me in for free. Then, Mern was dragging me past the astonished usher, up the stairs to the mezzanine, to the box seats, the best seats in the house, where a crystal chandelier threw rainbows over our heads. We plunked ourselves down as the house lights dimmed, and Mern leaned over to spill milk duds into my hand. A hush descended. The blue velvet curtain rose, the sheer curtains parted, and the screen came alive. For the next hour and a half, Mern squeezed my pinky until the fat face of Winston Churchill replaced Jennifer Jones. Woken from our trance, we scrambled to the ladies, a room done up in red brocade, with 2 reclining lounges and marble sinks. Before the hordes barged in, my mother opted for a tufted chair and pulled out her compact, pretending to be a high society lady powdering her nose. When I was a bit older, I asked Mern why our little town of Wild Pea, Illinois, had a fancy theater, and she answered it was because of the railroad. Vaudeville troupes had once passed through. In those days, the Hollywood had been the Orpheum Theater. Eddie Cantor and Sarah Bernhardt had sung on its stage. "The magic's all gone now," she mourned. Vaudeville was kaput. A few trains...